Morning. Could we get a roll call, please?
Elliot Temple,
Here.
Curtis Joseph,
He's here.
Dodie Adams. Here. James Fine,
Here.
Brandon Golson,
Here.
Travis Manso,
Here.
Frank Morse.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, Mr. Manso, could you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning, Ms. Starks. Could you give us an introduction, please?
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Tanika Starks, and I'm an Assistant Attorney General for the Louisiana Department of Justice, and I'll be presiding over today's hearings. We ask that you have some decorum this morning. The board will make all findings of facts and conclusions of law. However, I will be govern the procedure by which we operate, administer oaths and affirmations, rule the admissibility of evidence, and ensure due process for all participants and respondents. The board is committed to making sure every contractor is properly licensed. If any board member needs to recuse themselves from any matter, please do so when the matter is called so we can note your recusal for the record. Can we please silence all cell phones at this time? Thank you.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to accept the minutes of the April 16th?
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Any objection? Motion carries. Mr. Beavers, introductions?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. If we could begin by swearing in the staff and investigators. Frank Vaughn, Robert Mertens, Susan McCartney, Jared Watson, Todd Eatman, Stephanie Belanger, Dylan Borg, Logan Cockerham, Carrie Morgan, Joe Anderson, and myself, Sean Beaver.
Can you please raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
We're ready.
All right. Any public comments this time? Hearing none, let's move forward to new business.
Southwest Louisiana Physician Services, LLC, or any representatives present?
Let the record reflect the known as present on behalf of Southwest Louisiana Physician Services, LLC.
Southwest Louisiana Physician Services, LLC of Lake Charles, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for abandoning or failing to perform without justification any contract or project or deviating from plans without the consent of the owner at 1423 Southern Oaks Drive, Sulphur, Louisiana, the amount of $33,575.
Call Frank Vaughn.
Mr. Vaughn has been sworn.
Mr. Vaughn, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the Licensing Board for Contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
According to the exhibits, it appears that Southwest Louisiana Physician Services, LLC was provided with notice of its violation and of this hearing by certified mail. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And they've not made an appearance here today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And it appears that they're before the board because they failed to perform on a construction contract. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And they took a deposit on a project and then did not perform. Is that correct?
Correct.
And the total amount of that contract was $33,575. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's as indicated at page 14. And had they taken a deposit for about half of that amount, as far as your investigation indicated?
Yes, sir.
And at some point, they informed the homeowner that they were not going to perform the project because of financial issues. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And they also had initially said they would return the money, but they did not return the money, did they?
They did not.
And they also did not return the materials that they allegedly were going to purchase. Is that correct?
Correct.
We submit to the board, and is Southwest Louisiana still holding a home improvement registration?
Yes, sir.
And Carrie, let's just confirm that they're doing that.
Their home improvement was suspended by board order April 16th.
On when?
April 16th,
Okay.
last month.
So we submit to the board that Southwest Louisiana Physician Services LLC is in violation of Louisiana contractors licensing laws, and specifically 37-2158-A16 for abandoning or failing to perform a contract without justification. Their license has been suspended, and we ask that the board ratify that suspension and that it continue until such time as they rectify the issues that have been presented to this board. We also ask that you issue the appropriate fines and costs on this matter.
Move to find him guilty, maximum fine of $3,357.50, $1,000 hearing costs. And what was your other comment, sir?
Recommendation.
And that they also, their license has been suspended, and we ask that that suspension be ratified by this board and continued until staff receives sufficient information to reinstate it, or until they comply with all the requirements of the board to be reinstated.
So moved as per council's recommendation. Second.
I got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Southwest Louisiana Physician Services LLC, or any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Southwest Louisiana Physician Services LLC.
Southwest Louisiana Physician Services LLC of Lake Charles, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for abandoning or failing to perform without justification any contract or project or deviating from plans without the consent of the owner at 1464 White Acres Drive, Sulphur, Louisiana, in the amount of $51,900.
Call Frank Vaughn.
Mr. Vaughn has been sworn.
Mr. Vaughn, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular, ordinary course of business? The licensing board for contractors for this matter, 2024-1781-01, involving Southwest Louisiana Physician Services, LLC.
Yes, sir.
We'll offer those exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Mr. Vaughn, according to the records, it appears that Southwest Louisiana Physician Services was provided with notice of this hearing and of its violation by certified mail. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And they have not appeared here today for this hearing. Is that correct?
Correct.
Also shows that, again, as in the previous case, Southwest Louisiana Physician Services entered into an agreement to perform construction work in the amount of $51,900. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And on that particular project, they took a deposit, again, for, it appears that half of the project amount. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And did not perform the project. Is that correct?
Correct.
And did not return the money or the materials to the the owner of the project. Is that correct?
Correct.
And essentially, they've abandoned that project. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Again, we submit to the board that Southwest Louisiana Physician Services LLC is in violation of 37-21-58-A16, abandoning or failing to perform a contract without justification, a construction project without justification. We ask that they have been suspended by the staff, and we ask that that suspension be ratified, and we also request that you find them guilty and issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Move to find him guilty, maximum fine of $5,180, $1,000 hearing costs. Move to ratify the suspension and continue suspension until complies. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Rerun Flooring LLC, or any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Rerun Flooring LLC.
Rerun Flooring LLC of Scott, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License at 101 Brookwood Circle, Lafayette, Louisiana, in the amount of $10,445.88.
Call Robert Mertens.
Mr. Mertens has been sworn.
Mr. Mertens, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the ordinary and regular course of business of the licensing board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
The exhibits are admitted.
Mr. Mertens, it appears that Rerun Flooring LLC was provided with notice of its violation and of this hearing by certified mail. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And it also shows that Rerun Flooring LLC performed work on a remodel of a project in the amount of $10,445.88. Is that correct?
Yes,
And at the time did not possess licensing with this board to perform that construction work. Is that correct?
that's correct.
And that was on a residential project. Is that correct?
Yes,
We submit to the board that Rerun Flooring LLC is in violation of Louisiana contractors licensing laws for failure to possess necessary licensing with this board in performing construction work on a residential project in the amount of $10,445.88. We ask that you find them guilty of the violation and issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Move to find guilty, maximum fine of $1,044.59, down the hearing cause, cease and desist.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Reed Romero, doing business as Two Broke Guys, LLC, or any representatives present.
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Reed Romero, DBA Two Broke Guys, LLC.
Reed Romero, doing business as Two Broke Guys, LLC of New Iberia, Louisiana, is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License at 1669 Duchamp Road, Broussard, Louisiana, in the amount of $8,790.
Call Robert Mertens.
Mr. Mertens has been sworn.
Mr. Mertens, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the ordinary and regular course of business of the Licensing Board for Contractors for this matter?
Yes.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
According to the exhibits, it appears that Reed Romero, doing business as Two Broke Guys, LLC, was provided with notice of this hearing and of his violations by certified mail. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Also shows that Reed Romero, doing business as Two Broke Guys, LLC, entered into an agreement to perform work on a residential project in the amount of $8,790. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And at the time did not possess licensing with this board to perform that residential construction work. Is that correct?
Yes.
We submit to the board that Reed Romero, doing business as Two Broke Guys, LLC, is in violation of Louisiana Contractors Licensing laws, not just for his name, but for violating the laws and not possessing the necessary licensing with this board to perform the residential construction work in the amount of $8,790. We ask that you find him guilty and issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Move to find guilty, maximum fine of $879, down the hearing cause, cease and desist.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Cody Borges, doing business as B&B Construction, or any representatives present.
Yes.
Good morning, sir. Can you state your name and your affiliation with the company?
Cody Borges, an owner.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Cody Borges, doing business as B&B Construction of Rain, Louisiana, is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for falsely representing or advertising a person's license or classification status and acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License at 196 Erline Lane, Church Point, Louisiana, in the amount of $49,368.09. This is a second violation in May of 2022. B&B Construction of South Louisiana, LLC, pled no contest to home improvement work without a registration and paid $500 costs. He applied for a residential license September of 23, but failed to follow through. He obtained a home improvement registration August 1st of 24, and he applied again for a residential license January 21st of this year. That application is pending.
Mr. Borges, how would you like to plead to the allegations?
No contest.
Move to accept.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any objection? Plea is accepted.
Call Jared Watson.
Mr. Watson has been sworn.
Mr. Watson, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business of the Licensing Board for Contractors for this matter?
Yes, they were.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Mr. Borges, have you had an opportunity to review these documents?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any objection to these documents being entered into the record?
No, ma'am.
The exhibits are admitted.
Mr. Watson, according to the documents, it appears that Cody Borges entered into an agreement to perform work and in the amount of $49,368.09. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And it appears also that Mr. Borges had a website or a Facebook in which B&B Construction was listed as a licensed contractor. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And he's since pled no contest to that matter. And how this matter came to your review?
We received an online complaint July 24 from a homeowner for a home remodel, and most of it was about quality of work. But when I started looking into it, I found that he did not have a license, and also during the investigation found that he was advertising that he was licensed, and he also, in the contractor's waiver lien for this project, he signed that he was a duly licensed, bonded, insured contractor. The homeowner ended up paying $37,000 of the contract, but I'm not sure if it was ever, that part's been settled yet, but it was originally for $49,000.
And it appears that at some point, B&B Construction of Louisiana, LLC, became a licensed home improvement contractor. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yes, but when he initially started the project, was not a home improvement
That's
contractor.
correct.
Okay. Thank you. No further questions.
Mr. Borges, do you have any questions for this witness? Any questions for the witness?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Would you like to make an offer to the board, or would you like to offer an explanation? Be careful about that. If you do, you have pled no contest. So any admission of guilt, it will be on the record.
Yeah, no, ma'am.
No statement?
No, ma'am.
No offer to the board?
I don't.
When I say offer, I mean as to the penalty phase.
Okay. I don't know.
We don't know what that means. As to the cost of the violation,
Okay, like accept the fine or
like a fine, yes.
yes, ma'am. 2,500.
You gotta talk to them.
Could I pay a fine for 2,500?
I'd like to get
Yeah, I got some questions.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yes.
I just want to get an explanation on kind of what's going on from your vantage point on what happened.
Yes, sir.
Because we don't like to have people come in here a second time and third time, so
Yes, sir.
I need to understand kind of what's going on.
So I was contacted by Matt McKean to initially change some wood rot underneath his kitchen cabinets from a leaky sink, and the job turned into an insurance job, and I applied for my license before we started, but I didn't receive it. So
My concern cuts to the complaint made by the homeowner here. It says that they made a final payment 30 days ago and that you come in previously and indicated that you were going to look and assess the needed repairs, and that they reached out to you several times to schedule the repairs, but they hadn't received any response from you. So it seems like you left them high and dry. Is that correct?
I wanted to finish. They had some grout cracking in between some tiles, and after, like, it just got bad, you know. And I contacted Matt a couple times, asked him if I could go back, and it just kind of went out from there, you know. I do have photo documentation of the full job, pictures of everything if they would like to see them.
Have you heard anything back, Mr. Investigator, from the homeowner?
No, sir, I don't have an update.
You say you do?
I do not have an update on whether they resolved the situation or not.
And you currently don't have a license, correct?
No, he's
No,
currently
he
has
is
a home
licensed.
improvement
He
registration.
wasn't at the time. Yeah.
He has it now.
I have my home improvement license, and I've got the study guide to take the contractor's license test, which has
Contractor's
been
license.
pending
Residential.
on this. Yes, sir. And I do look forward to getting it after this issue is resolved.
That's what I was talking about, the residential contractor's license. All right.
I do currently have my registration though, and
Have you set up to take the test for that residential contractor's license?
yes, sir. I've already got the study guide that they offer, you know, with the home improvement registration, and it's done expired, pending this case, but I'll get it again within the next month after this resolution, if I'm allowed. I'd like to
So
take the test.
just so you know, and make sure you get your residential license, because obviously cost of construction, you already right at it right there, right?
Yes, sir.
So you need to do that. And look, if we see you again, it's going to be a different story, okay?
I completely understand. Yes, sir.
I'm going to move to accept his $2,500 settlement with a $1,000 hearing cost
Yes, sir.
and
So it's 3,500 total.
$3,500 total. And that way, you know, you learn from your mistakes, but you have to make sure that you do things properly.
Yes, sir.
And grout cracking is usually because it wasn't installed properly in the first place. okay?
Yes, sir.
So you know.
I'll second.
I got a motion and a second. Is that if he gets his residential license in a certain amount of days, or is that just
I can, and
Straight up
actually to give you a little
2,500.
incentive, I'll give you that too with 180 days to get a residential license. That way you know you're covered,
Yes, sir.
and then you can do things higher than what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
No, he didn't say that.
and if he doesn't get it in 180 days? Is
Well,
that-
so going back, so if you don't do this and you don't get it, then
Yes,
it's
sir.
going to be the maximum fine and the hearing cost.
Yes, sir.
Is that clear?
Mr. Morris, can you repeat that?
Can restate the
I can
motion,
surely
please?
do that.
Thank you.
I had to repeat it to myself too.
Okay.
So going back to the beginning, the $2,500 settlement we will accept based upon my recommended actions for you in the 180 days, okay? So that reduction will be removed should you not comply
Yes, sir.
with what you just said you're gonna do.
Yes, sir. Fair enough. Thank you.
So 180 days to get a residential license. The fine reduced to 2,500, but to be maximum fine if he doesn't comply within the 180 days.
2,500
Plus
plus
the administrative
Plus,
fee.
plus $1,000 hearing cost.
Yes, sir.
You got it.
Yes, sir.
I got a motion. Do I have a second? I got a motion and a second.
Yes.
Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
A Cube Corporation or any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on
No,
Oh,
behalf.
he's here. He's coming up.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm sorry, sir. Can you state your name and your affiliation with the company?
I'm Fred Baker. I own the president of AQ Corporation.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
A Cube Corporation of New Orleans, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License at 3114 to 3116 Cluett Street, New Orleans, Louisiana, in the amount of $225,210. This is his fifth appearance. In March of 24, pled no contest to failure to provide records. The board assessed $1,000 costs and ordered suspension of the license if records were not provided in 14 days. The costs were paid. The next day, he pled no contest to a judgment. The board ordered the judgment and all fines owed the board be paid in 30 days or revocation of the commercial and residential licenses. The board also assessed $1,000 costs. That was paid. He was found guilty that same day of another case of willful misrepresentation of fact by an applicant in obtaining a license and efforts to deceive the public. He was fined $2,000 plus $1,000 costs. That was paid. In November of 23, under First Rate Investment Services, LLC, pled no contest to residential contracting without a license. He offered to pay a $2,000 fine plus $1,000 costs. That $3,000 is outstanding and has been turned over to the AG's office for collection. In March of this year, he was found guilty of contracting without a license and fined $1,000 plus $1,000 costs. That $2,000 is outstanding. He held a residential license from January of 2008 until it was revoked in July of 2010 for failure to obtain insurance. He held a residential license from April of 22 to April of 24 when it was revoked for failure to comply with the board's order to pay the judgment and all the fines. He held a commercial license from 2007 to April of 24 when it was revoked for failure to comply with the board's order to pay that judgment and those fines.
Mr. Baker, how do you plead to the alleged violation?
Not guilty.
Not guilty? Okay.
Call Susan McCartney.
Ms. McCartney has been sworn.
Ms. McCartney, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the License Board for Contractors for this matter involving A-Cubed Corporation?
Yes, sir.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Mr. Baker, have you had opportunity to review those documents?
Yes.
Do you have any objections to those documents being entered into the record?
No.
No objection. Exhibits are admitted.
Ms. McCartney, according to the exhibits, it appears that exhibit number 2A, there is a contract proposal from A-Cube Corporation dated September 26th of 2024. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And it was issued to the Count Investment Group. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what the total amount of that particular contract is? $225,210, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And on September 26th of 2024, was A-Cube Corporation the licensed contractor with this board?
No, sir.
If you go to exhibit, go to page 13 of the packet, it appears that there is a letter from Mr. Julius Williams from the Count Investment Group. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And essentially, he admits that he did contract with, or he received a quote or contractual agreement from A-Cubed. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And again, at the time, A-Cubed was not licensed with this board to perform that work. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And was this on a residential construction project?
Yes, sir.
Explain to the board how this matter came to your investigation.
Jay Dufour, who's the CBO for the city of New Orleans, contacted our office and said that he sent a city inspector out to inspect the job. He contacted Mr. Baker, who was the QP on the as a contractor for A-Cube. Mr. Baker told him that he had not filed for the permit and had nothing to do with that job and did not work on that job. So they asked us to investigate.
And so your investigation revealed that, in fact, A-Cubed had provided an estimate for the project when it was not licensed. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, no further questions.
Mr. Baker, do you have any questions for this witness?
No.
Okay.
I have no further questions.
Any further witnesses?
No further witnesses.
Okay. Mr. Baker, do you have any witnesses, or would you like to testify on your behalf?
I testify on my behalf.
Okay.
This permit was applied for in September 29th of 2024. And the contract that supposedly I submitted was dated September 26, 2024. The email I received from the board about this matter stating that I had did this without a contractor's license. At this time, I don't have a contractor's license. So
You say you do not?
I did not. No, my license had been suspended, revoked, stapled, sealed, nailed.
I think
all
that's the
kinds of
issue.
things. Pardon me?
I believe that's the issue. But go ahead.
Yeah, so when I got the email from the board, I immediately responded to that email stating that I had nothing to do with this contract, and I sent them a copy of the email that I sent to City of New Orleans Safety and Permits stating the same. But at that time, I was informed that the agenda had already been set, so there was nothing I could do but attend this meeting. So that's why I'm here. And as it turns out, you got an email from Mr. Williams stating that I was a licensed contractor under the board's jurisdiction, which he did not know that I didn't have a license. Mr. Williams applied for this permit himself, and though I don't have a copy of it, but if you go on the city's website, this contract is exactly the same contract that I gave to Mr. Williams to construct a house across the street from him. Because we had a conflict where he did not complete the payments for this contract, I refused to do any work for him, but he did somehow adjust this one, changing the address, the dates, and all, and he submitted this to the city for this permit. I did not.
So a document has been submitted in this packet that bears what purports to be your signature. On September 26th of 2024, do you contend this is not your signature?
This is my signature. It is exactly the same signature on the contract that I did with Mr. Williams in 2023.
So this one that's got September 26th of 2024 that's in this packet does bear your signature, is that correct?
Say again?
This is your signature on this.
That is my signature, yes.
And at this time, staff attorney is telling us that you did not have a contract, or you didn't have a license to be a contractor, is that correct?
Right, but this signature here is not my it's an electronic signature.
So you're saying you didn't actually do this?
I did not do this.
You're
That's what
saying
I'm
he forged it. You're
Yes.
saying it was forged.
Well, it's not forged. I
Not
think
forged, but
somehow
it was-
they
I got
manipulated the document, changed the date, changed the address. But this document is exactly the same document that we did 13 and 15 Cluid, which is across the street. It is exact numbers, exact everything on this document is exactly the same. Just the time, the dates, and the address is different.
When you signed that one for the work across the street, were you licensed?
With the same electronic signature. Exactly the same electronic signature.
We've seen you here a bunch, Mr. Baker. Like I recognize you sitting
Yes.
outside because you've been the staff is saying this is the 5th time you've been here.
Yes,
And it seems to be something clever each time.
yes. And if I may, this thing started back when I did a job for a client on 3rd Street. My residential license was suspended based on what was said a statement where I said I did not submit bankruptcy, did not submit a cause for bankruptcy. I did not. I have with me a copy of the bankruptcy court. It is everything with my name, my signature is not on any of these documents.
Mr.
I don't even know
Morgan,
who it is.
does he have a valid QP status right now? Okay. And he has the outstanding previous judgment, like 3,000 somewhere in there?
If I may, that judgment is not mine. That judgment belongs to First Rate,
Yes, sir.
and they were responsible for it. They didn't pay it. The
Did
only
we
fines
find-
that I've been responsible for, I paid.
We got it. All right. Did we find him in violation on any other thing outside of this contract for this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Every case that has come before the board, he has been found guilty on.
No,
In
I'm-
addition,
You're talking about
several of the projects in which we've investigated with him, he claimed that he didn't have any dealings with it, but his name is always on the permit, or it always rolls back to him.
If I may, I've never claimed that I've never had any dealings with these projects previous, but there were other, I guess, circumstances that I didn't have control over, and I know that this particular case here, that's not me.
If I may, we specifically called Mr. Williams, Mr. Julius Williams, and Mr. Williams confirmed that he did enter the contract with Mr. Baker. Unbeknownst to Mr. Williams, he did not know that his license had been suspended, and he confirmed that he has done previous jobs with Mr. Williams.
He's on previous jobs with Mr. Williams?
Mr. Baker, I'm sorry.
Mr. Baker?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me say this right quick before we make a motion, Mr. Baker. Our job is to enforce the rules, make sure that the integrity of this board, the construction industry, and the community is protected. We cannot continue to have people shuck and jive, do stuff under the table, out of bounds. We can't do that.
I agree.
And so when we have people come 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, generally when there's smoke, there's fire. If it wasn't you 1 time, maybe 2 times, but to come up here a 4th and a 5th time with a lot of the same issues and arguments that you have, there's an issue there, And so I'm sure the board will take all of this under consideration, take what you said under consideration, and make a motion here.
Well, if I may,
Yes, sir.
if you look at this contract is dollar value, item value, exactly as the one that was across the street. There's no way you can build another house and have the exact dollar amount, the exact dollar values for everything. This was fraudulent submitted in my name. And as soon as I found out about it, I denied any and disavowed any knowledge of and any association with this. Now, of course, as I think this Mr. Williams said, he contacted Mr. Williams, and of course, he says I contracted with him not to build the house, but for permitting. That's not what I do.
All right. Thank you. What are the wishes of the board?
So currently, so the board does know that his license is currently revoked, as we sit here today.
But he has QP status.
He has QP status.
He does have QP status, but we didn't notice this for QP status.
I'm sorry, sir, I didn't hear what you
We didn't, this wasn't noticed as a violation related to the QP status. That would have to be another hearing.
Let's move the file. Move the file. If the board wishes to do a cease and desist, what's the council? Is that an option? Even with a QP status?
So as he sits here today, his license is revoked. So typically, I don't know that he has a QP with an operating company right now, does he?
No, we can't.
Yeah, you can.
So as it sits here today, he does not have an operating company that is using his QP status. And if that came before the board or staff, it would obviously be reviewed based on the number of violations for which it's come here before any new license would be issued. And so as it relates to, as what we're here today on is a violation of entering into providing a contract as an unlicensed contractor. And then you can make that decision there, and then his QP status can be re-noticed for another hearing.
All right. Gotcha. All right.
It is always a consideration when someone comes and applies for a license. The history is always a consideration in deciding whether or not they will issue that license. And so his history would be before the board and before the person's making a decision to present his license.
All right.
All right, so Mr. Baker, based upon, the past that we've reviewed and also the issues that we see here, as well as the fact that I see some general consensus of the fact that you continue to do things that are improper. I don't know how we can force you to do the right thing, except I'm going to move to revoke your qualifying party status, fine you the maximum fine of $22,521, $1,000 hearing cost, and that's it.
Second.
If before you finalize this thing,
I'm sorry, Mr.
Hold on.
Baker.
It starts.
Have we made a decision on his guilt or innocence,
Yeah,
or
you also have to do that.
I'm going to find guilty.
Second.
and if I may, before this thing is finalized, I asked for somebody to review this thing. I think any contractor would know that there's no way that you can build a house or any construction site with the exact same dollar amount. This is not me. I mean, there are things that appear to be kind of like funny because it's like a bunch of circumstances, but this case right here is clearly not me. And if you find me guilty, I'll have to accept that, but it would not be correct.
And you have the right to apply for a rehearing. I appreciate it. Go ahead. You can finish.
If you say I can apply for a rehearing,
Mr. Baker, have you reached out to this guy at all legally and told him? The guy that you're saying used your contract and used your name, have you reached out to him?
in the initial,
First thing I'm going to do is hire a lawyer and go have this man stop using my contract. Right?
The only problem with
Have you
hiring a
done that?
lawyer is the cost for hiring a lawyer to defend me against something that I can't benefit from financially.
This is going to cost you more than the lawyer.
It will.
No, this $3,200 is probably nothing compared to what I would pay for an attorney. But
23,000.
Yeah, I think we're ready to go forward.
We understand. Thank you.
I stand behind my move.
So wait, is my understanding you've moved for guilty? I haven't heard a second, and has that gone forward?
Somebody said so.
Do we have a second on the motion?
Second.
Yes, I
We have a
second.
motion and a second. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. And what's the fine?
Maximum fine of $22,521, $1,000 hearing costs.
And QP says.
And the QP.
And yeah, that was
You gotta restate.
revocation of the qualifying party status. That was the first comment.
All right. So we have-
could you repeat this thing about the fine?
He fined you the maximum amount of $22,521 plus $1,000 hearing costs for a total of $23,521 and a revocation of your qualifying party status.
Okay.
I think we have.
Is there a
motion and
second? Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Motion carries. Thank you.
I do have a question.
That's it.
Is this appealable?
No.
Pardon? Okay. Today, probably.
Yep. We'll let you know. All right.
Water, Wind, and Fire Restoration LLC, are any representatives present?
Good morning, sir. Can you state your name and your affiliation with the company?
I'm Joseph Lay, owner.
Joseph, I'm sorry.
Joseph Lay, L-E-I-G-H.
Lay. Okay, Mr. Lay, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Water, Wind, and Fire Restoration LLC of Minden, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License at 151 Cary Lane, Minden, Louisiana, in the amount of $250,000. This is their first violation. They held a home improvement registration from June 28th of 2023 to June 28th of 2024 when it expired.
Mr. Lay, how do you plead to the alleged violation?
No contest.
Okay.
Move to accept.
Second. I had a motion and a second. Any objection? Please accept it.
So, Mr. John Eatman,
Mr. Eden has been sworn.
statement in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of licensing board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir, they were.
Offer the exhibits into the record.
Mr. Lay, do you have any, have you had an opportunity to review those documents?
A little bit. I just flipped through. I haven't had much time to review it. I just got it 15 minutes ago before we came in.
Okay, would you like a minute to review the documents? Or would you have any objection to those documents being entered into the record?
Not that I can see in the short time I had to look at them.
Would you need a minute? I'll give you a minute to review.
No, take me quite a while to review that. To read through it, it takes me quite a while. So,
Okay.
but I'll.
I'm sorry. Okay. If that's okay with the board to give Mr. Lee an opportunity to review those documents, we can move him to the end of the agenda.
All right, that's fine.
Okay.
Let's go.
Sorry.
White Oaks.
Do we need a motion? Yes, we need a motion.
You get a motion to move him to the end of the agenda?
So moved.
In a second?
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Any objection? Motion carries. All right.
It'll give you time to review those documents.
Mark A. Wetmore and WRC Builders LLC, formerly Wetmore Enterprises LLC, are any representatives present?
Can you state your name and your affiliation with the company?
Mark Wetmore, I'm the owner.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Mark A. Wetmore and WRC Builders LLC, formerly Wetmore Enterprises LLC of New Orleans, Louisiana, is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for efforts to deceive or defraud the public at 922 Louisiana Avenue, New Orleans, Louisiana, in the amount of $263,718.60. This is his first violation under WRC Builders LLC. He's held commercial and residential licenses since August 30th of 2022. Under Carrollton Construction LLC, he's held a commercial license since March 15th of 2024.
Mr. Wetmore, how do you like to plead to the alleged violation?
I plead no contest.
Okay.
Would accept.
Second. Got a motion and a second. Any objection? Please accept it.
Call Stephanie Belanger.
Ms. Belanger has been sworn.
Ms. Belanger, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the licensing board for contractors for this matter?
They were.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Mr. Wetmore, have you had an opportunity to review those documents?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any objection to those documents being entered into the record?
I do not.
Okay, no objection. The exhibits are admitted.
Ms. Belanger, it appears that, well, just explain to the board why this matter came before you.
Yes, a complaint was filed on behalf of, or from the homeowner in reference to Mr. Wetmore, and she provided me with several documents, one of those being an altered document that Mr. Wetmore provided with her to provide to the permit office to lower the cost.
And so in that document, which I think we have 2 documents in the record, so we have one that is Exhibit 2B, and that is that, what does that represent?
2B is the original invoice.
And so that's essentially the quote for performing the work in the amount of $263,718.60 located at Exhibit 2B. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And then at Exhibit 2C is another quote that is listed at $70,417.05. Is that correct?
That's correct.
What does that document represent?
That is the altered document.
Okay. And is that the document that was submitted for the permit on the project?
Yes.
Okay. And the reason that we're here today is that Mr. Wetmore, or WRC Builders LLC, is a licensed contractor, right?
Yes.
And then they just submitted 2 different documents for the purpose of obtaining a permit. Is that correct?
Correct.
No further questions.
Mr. Wetmore, do you have any questions for this witness?
I do not.
Okay. Counsel, any?
No additional witnesses.
Okay. Mr. Wetmore, would you like to make an offer to the board as to a fine or penalty? Yes, you can.
So, just so I can explain, I did plead no contest. When I met the homeowner, she was in a process of interviewing a number of contractors. She was currently in arbitration with another contractor. When she chose me as her contractor, she came across to me like she had been, for lack of a better term, like messed over by this former contractor. I did not file the permit, and I didn't have any benefit from it. I didn't pay for it. It was an attempt to save her some money. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't benefit from it. I tried to save her some money, and I didn't consider what it meant at the time. When I got in touch with Ms. Stephanie and Mr. Anderson, once they brought it to my attention, I realized, you know, how grave the consequences are and how wrong it is. And I've built a reputation to have integrity, and I come before you guys and just hope that, you know, you guys show some leniency on fees or what have you. So I don't have any recommendations. I'll leave it to you guys.
Is that correct, Ms. Belanger?
Yes, that's correct.
And Ms. Morgan, you said this was his first offense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
And Ms. Belanger, I mean, has he been cooperative with you on this matter?
Yes, he has.
Okay. Mr. Wetmore, you understand that the board here is trying to make sure that people do the right thing as a contractor, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And you're going to pledge to this board that you're going to do the right thing in the future?
Absolutely. You will not see me again.
All right.
Trust me.
according to what I'm looking at here, his license is still expired as of now?
No, he has current
license
license.
is
He has
If I
current
can-
active license.
Yeah, if I can comment on that, that's, if you see up there, I was in a process of changing the name, and I thought at the time it was active, but it was in process.
Okay.
To my knowledge, it hasn't lapsed. I have no insurance lapse. I'm in good standing across the board.
All right, good.
All right.
Submitted to the board for their decision.
That was a no contest, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna move to fine you $2,500, $1,000 hearing costs, and don't come back.
Thank you.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any objection? Motion carries.
Have a good day.
White Oaks Aligned LLC, or any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of White Oaks Aligned LLC.
We have a settlement offer. White Oaks Aligned LLC of Mandeville, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for permitting the contractor's license to be used by an unlicensed contractor to perform work at 8928 Crochet Avenue, River Ridge, Louisiana, in the amount of $46,260.
Call Davenport.
Mr. Ward has been sworn.
Mr. Borg, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business of the licensing board for contractors?
Yes, they were.
Offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
They're offered a no contest plea, $1,000 fine plus $1,000 cost.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Move to accept.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any objection? Motion carries.
Sean Thornton, doing business as Asset Protection NOLA, or any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Sean Thornton, DBA Asset Protection Sean Norton, DBA Asset Protection NOLA.
We have a settlement offer. Sean Thornton, doing business as Asset Protection NOLA of Metairie, Louisiana, is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License at 8928 Crochet Avenue, River Ridge, Louisiana, in the amount of $46,260. They're offering a no contest plea, $1,000 fine plus $1,000 cost.
Call Davenport.
Subordinate has been sworn.
Mr. Borg, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the licensing board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, they were.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Move to accept.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any objection? Motion carries.
Nunez Renovation and Home Improvement LLC, or any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Nunez Renovation and Home Improvement LLC.
Nunez Renovation and Home Improvement LLC of Butte, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License at 8928 Crochet Avenue, River Ridge, Louisiana, amount of $46,260.
Call Davenport.
Subordinate has been sworn.
Mr. Borg, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the licensing board for contractors?
Yes, they were.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
According to the records, it appears that Nunez Renovation performed construction work on a residential project. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And the total amount was $46,260. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And at the time did not possess licensing with this board to perform that work. Is that correct?
He did not.
We submit to the board that Nunez Renovation and Home Improvement LLC is in violation of Louisiana contractor's license and laws for failure to possess necessary licensing with this board, performing work on a residential project in the amount of $26,260. We ask that you find him guilty of the violation, issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Move to find him guilty, maximum fine of $4,626,
Second. Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Marion Pico, or any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Marion Pico.
Marion Pico of Independence, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License at 39395 Oakland Drive in Ponchatoula, Louisiana, the amount of $143,700.
Call Robert Mertens.
Mr. Mertens has been sworn.
Mr. Mertens, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the Licensing Board for Contractors for this matter involving Marion Pico?
Yes, sir, they were.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Appears from the record that Marion Pico was provided with notice of its violation, or of his violation, and served with a notice of this hearing by hand delivery. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Also shows that Marion Pico entered into an agreement to perform construction work in the amount of $143,700 on a residential project. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And at the time did not possess a residential contractor's licensing with this board. Is that correct?
Yes.
We submit to the board that Marion Pico is in violation of Louisiana contractors' licensing laws for failure to possess the necessary licensing with this board to perform work on a residential project in the amount of $143,700. We ask that you find him guilty of the violation and issue the appropriate fines and costs.
If found guilty, maximum fine of $14,370, down on hearing costs.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Ronald D. Rainey Sr. or any representatives present.
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Ronald D. Rainey Sr.
Ronald D. Rainey Sr. of Gray, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License at 1112 Beverly Garden Drive, Metairie, Louisiana, in the amount of $8,184.
Call Robert Mertens.
Mr. Mertens has been sworn.
Mr. Mertens, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the Licensing Board for Contractors for this matter involving Mr. Ronald D. Rainey Sr.?
Yes.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Mr. Mertens, it appears that Ronald D. Rainey received notice of this of his violations and of this hearing by hand delivery by Miss Lori LaRose. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And it also shows that Mr. Rainey entered into an agreement to perform work on a roof in the amount of $8,184 on a residential project. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And at the time did not possess licensing with this board to perform work on a residential project. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
We submit to the board that Ronald D. Rainey Sr. is in violation of Louisiana contractors' licensing laws for failure to possess necessary licensing with this board and agreeing to perform or performing work on a residential project in the total amount of $8,184. We ask that you find him guilty of the violation and issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Before the board makes a decision, I have a question about the service document. Mr. Mertens, do you have any knowledge as to the edits on this document?
I'm sorry.
Do you have any knowledge as to the edits on this hand delivery service
I'll
document?
have to check in to see.
Okay.
It appears that the signature on the document and the notice shows L and L, which would be representing of Lori LaRose's handwriting. Is that correct? It's page 31.
Yes.
As far as you know, she made those edits to the document when serving Mr. Rainey?
Yes.
And it appears that the signature is that of Rachel Rainey. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know who Miss Rachel Rainey is, or do you know it was delivered to the home or the business?
What is it?
Do you know who Miss Rachel Rainey is, or do you know if it was delivered to their home or business?
It was hand delivered to their address, 117 Ethan Street in Houma.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
We submit it for the board.
Okay, move to find him guilty with a maximum fine of $818.40, $1,000 hearing costs, and a cease and desist.
Second. Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
RJM Construction and Concrete, LLC, or any representatives present.
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of RJM Construction and Concrete, LLC.
RJM Construction and Concrete, LLC of Lafayette, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License at 611 Boyce Street, Sulphur, Louisiana, in the amount of $22,000.
Call Robert Mertens.
Mr. Mertens has been sworn.
Mr. Mertens, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of licensing board for contractors for this matter involving RJM Construction?
Yes, they were.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Appears from the record that RJM Construction received notice of his violations and of this hearing by certified mail. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
It also shows at page 21 that he received, or that RJM received a notice by email of this hearing date. Is that correct?
Yes.
And it says that, yes, ma'am, we confirm the receipt. Is that correct?
Yes.
Also shows that at page 9, the contract for performing work was $22,000. Was that on a roof?
Say again, sir?
He had a contract to perform construction work on a roof in the amount of $22,000. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And at the time did not possess licensing with this board to perform that construction work on a residential project. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
We submit to the board that RJM Construction and Concrete LLC is in violation of Louisiana contractors licensing laws for failure to possess necessary licensing with this board and performing work on a residential construction project in the amount of $22,000. We ask that you find them guilty of the violation and issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Move to find guilty, amount of fine of $2,200, stop all hearing, call cease and desist.
Second. Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Billy B. Miller Jr., doing business as B&H Renovations. Are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Billy B. Miller Jr., DBA B&H Renovations.
Billy B. Miller Jr., doing business as B&H Renovations of Alexandria, Louisiana, is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License at 1823 Dartmouth Street, Alexandria, Louisiana, in the amount of $20,000.
Call Mr. Robert Mertens.
Mr. Mertens has been sworn.
Mr. Mertens, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of licensing board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, they were.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
It appears from the record that Mr. Billy B. Miller Jr., doing business as B&H Renovations, received notice of this hearing by certified mail and of his violations by certified mail. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Also shows that he received an email in which he confirmed the hearing date of May 14th. Is that correct?
Yes.
According to the records, it appears that Mr. Miller entered into an agreement to perform work on a residential project. Is that correct?
Yes.
And it was in the amount of $20,000 as indicated at page 9, Exhibit 2B. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And at the time did not possess licensing with this board to perform work on a residential construction project. Is that correct?
Yes.
We submit to the board that Billy B. Miller Jr., doing business as B&H Renovations, is in violation of Louisiana contractors' licensing laws for failure to possess the necessary licensing with this board to perform work on a residential construction project in the amount of $20,000. We ask that you find him guilty of the violation and issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Move to find guilty, maximum fine of $2,000, stop all hearing, call cease and desist.
Second. Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Colby Hafer, doing business as Hafer Fencing and/or HF Construction. Are any representatives present?
Can you state your name and your affiliation with the company, sir?
Colby Hafer, owner.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
And you can speak into the microphone for me.
I do.
Thank you.
Colby Hafer, doing business as Hafer Fencing and/or HF Construction of Sulphur, Louisiana, is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License at 1356 Jean Chapelle Road in Leesville, Louisiana, in the amount of $35,000. This is his first violation. He applied for home improvement in December of 23, but failed to follow through.
Mr. Hafer, how do you wish to plead to the alleged violation?
No contest.
Move to accept.
Second. Got a motion and a second. Any objection? Please accept it.
Call Jared Watson.
Mr. Watson has been sworn.
Mr. Watson, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the licensing board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, they were.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Mr. Hafer, have you had an opportunity to review those documents?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any objections to those documents being entered into the record?
The only thing that I have to say is I had nothing to do with the driveway.
Any objection to the documents being entered into the record? You'll have an opportunity to testify on your behalf or give a statement to the board.
No, ma'am.
Okay. No objection. The exhibits are admitted.
Mr. Watson, it appears that Kobe Hafer, doing business as Hafer Fencing and or HF Construction, entered into an agreement to perform work in the amount of $35,000 on a residential project. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And that's as indicated in Exhibit 2B at page 9 of the exhibit packet. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And at the time, I think he's already pled no contest, did not possess licensing with this board to perform that work. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I have no further questions.
Mr. Hafer, do you have any questions for this witness?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Counsel, are you, do you have any other
No, no
witnesses?
additional witnesses.
Okay. Mr. Hafer, would you like to offer a plea an offer to the board as to penalty or fine, or give a statement to the board?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It was my first pole barn to build. I just asked if y'all have leniency. I'm not in the business anymore. I'm going back to work in the plants. I currently do not have a job. If it'd be nice if y'all had leniency on the fine, I would recommend $1,000, $1,500. But it's ultimately up to you guys.
You said you're not looking to do any more work in the
No,
field
sir.
at all? Okay. All right.
I ran into too many problems trying to get the license, and I'm just not good with computers.
All right. What y'all got? You want to make a motion, Travis? Anybody?
Yeah, just, hey.
I move to accept your fines, that the fine and the hearing cost.
Yes,
of
ma'am.
$1,500 and $1,000.
Yes,
for the
ma'am.
hearing
Thank you.
cost.
So,
I'll second that.
so just to be clear, it's a fine of $1,500 plus cost?
Yes, $1,500 plus $1,000 hearing cost.
All right. I got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Good luck to you, man.
Thank you.
ARSA Management Group LLC, or any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of ARSA Management Group LLC.
ARSA Management Group LLC of New Orleans, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License at 1033 Eris Avenue, Metairie, Louisiana, in the amount of $40,150.
Call Robert Mertens.
Mr. Mertens has been sworn.
Mr. Mertens, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of licensing board for contractors for this matter?
Yes.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Mr. Mertens, according to the documents, it appears that ARSA Management Group LLC was provided with notice of this hearing by certified mail. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Hold on one second. It also appears that Ms. Kara Morgan provided a notice of this hearing date by email, which was confirmed. Is that correct?
Yes.
It also shows that ARSA Management Group LLC entered into an agreement or provided quotes to perform work on a residential renovation in the amount of $40,150. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And at the time, ARSA Management Group LLC did not possess licensing with this board to perform that construction work. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And they have also paid partially on this project as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
We submit to the board that ARSA Management Group LLC is in violation of Louisiana contractor's licensing laws for failure to possess necessary licensing with this board to perform work on a residential construction project in the total amount of $40,150. We ask that you find them guilty of the violation and issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Move to find the guilty, maximum fine of $4,015, $1,000 hearing costs, cease and desist.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Sean's Quality Construction LLC, or any representatives present?
Yep.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you?
All right, then, Mr. Sean.
Can you state your name and your affiliation with the company, sir?
Sean Barron. I'm the owner.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Sean's Quality Construction LLC of Baton Rouge, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for bidding or performing work in a name other than that which appears on the Louisiana State Contractor's License at 765 North Parkview Place, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in the amount of $51,040. This is his second violation. In February of 2020, he pled no contest to contracting without a license and paid a $500 fine plus 500 costs. He held home improvement registrations from June of 17 to June of 19 and from May of 22 to May of 24.
Mr. Barron, how would you like to plead to the alleged violation?
Definitely not guilty.
Okay.
Call Jared Watson.
Mr. Watson has been sworn.
Mr. Watson, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business of the licensing board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, they were.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Mr. Barron, have you had an opportunity to review these documents?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you have any objection to the documents being entered into the record?
All sorts of objections.
Okay. Can you state your objections for the record?
Number one, I did not do.
Okay, sir. I'm asking about the documents. Do you have any objection to the documents, not the actions?
Besides all his lies in there? I mean, where you want me to start?
Okay. Any legal objections to the documents?
I mean, I'm not an attorney, so I don't know how to answer that.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm going to overrule your objections for the record, and I'm going to let the documents in, but you will have an opportunity to testify on your behalf. Okay?
I don't even understand what the issue is, to be honest. I can clearly read and how to comprehend.
Okay, we're going to move forward, Mr. Barron. We're going to move forward, okay? Thank you.
Mr. Watson, according to the documents, it appears that exhibit number 2B, that there's an invoice from SQ Construction to Scott Heil in the amount of $26,040. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Then if we go to the same exhibit, the next page, page 16, there's another invoice by SQ Construction to Scott Heil in the amount of $25,000. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so those two exhibits total $51,040. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And at the time that those invoices were issued, SQ Construction was licensed under the name of Sean's Quality Construction LLC. Is that correct?
Yes.
As a home improvement contractor, is that correct?
Well, SQ Construction did not hold a license.
That's what I'm saying, is that SQ Construction did not hold a license, and actually Sean's Quality Construction LLC held the license. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And in your investigation, it's actually Sean's Quality Construction LLC that was performing the work under its home improvement registration. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so what we have is, the reason that Mr. Barron is here today is based on contracting outside of his licensed name. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, in addition, we have at Exhibit 2A a complaint issued by Scott Heil to the licensing board, correct?
That's correct.
And so essentially it goes through various issues that he had essentially related to the construction quality of work. Is that right?
That's correct.
And and Sean's Quality Construction LLC is not here before this board regarding the quality of work. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Rather, just here because he contracted outside of his licensed name. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And did you communicate that to Mr. Barron?
I attempted to contact Mr. Barron. I never was able to speak with him prior to this being submitted.
Okay, no further questions. To Mr. Watson.
Mr. Barron, do you have any questions for this witness?
Yes, I didn't, that's not what I turned
Do you
in.
have any questions, Mr. Barron?
Questions to you?
Yes.
Yeah, did I show you the documents that I presented the customer to turn into his mortgage company?
No.
Mr. Barron, are you attempting to show him a document?
Yes.
You have to ask me first.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I show him the document?
What are you trying to show him?
It's showing that I did this under Sean's Quality Construction LLC. That I didn't do what they're trying to say to circumvent. See, I have my initials on it, SQ.
Do you have any questions, any other questions for the witness?
I mean, where do I present my paper to show you my proof?
Did you bring any of that documentation
I
along
asked her
with
if I
you?
needed to print it. She said, no, I'm good. So I have all my proof that this goes way deeper than this, but this is cool. I'll start with this. I have everything. All my ducks are in a row. Fully insured, fully licensed.
Do you have any questions, any other questions for this witness?
Yeah, what do I need to do to prove my innocence?
Any questions for the witness as it
What I need
pertains
to do to prove my
to his
innocence?
actions?
I don't know.
I mean, he turned in stuff. I have my stuff. I came to the hearing. Why don't I get to present my case?
Mr. Barron, do you have any other questions for this witness?
I asked
Well,
you. My
in
question is,
addition to
when
the
do I get to
paperwork,
produce?
you also, all payments were made to you directly, not to your company.
The contract said to write them to me. Why
Any
does it
questions,
to me?
Mr. Barron? You can't have a conversation with them. You have
He's
to have
asking me
questions.
so I'm answering his question.
You don't answer his questions.
I didn't ask.
Any other questions?
I don't even know what to ask. Other than I didn't attempt to circumvent anything.
That's a statement, Mr. Barron. You'll have your opportunity to make your statement, but do you have any other questions for this witness?
No.
Okay, thank you.
I call Carrie Morgan.
Ms. Morgan has been sworn, I'm sorry.
Ms. Morgan, did you have conversations with Mr. Barron about this matter?
Yeah, yes, I did.
Okay, what conversations did you have with him?
He was originally offered a citation, so we reached out to see if he wanted to pay that citation prior to the hearing, and he refused to pay it. Said he wanted to come talk to the board.
Okay. And the reason for offering the citation is because he contracted or he issued invoices outside of his license name with this board. Is that correct?
Correct.
And I assume that what he was saying is SQ Construction, or is it correct that what he was saying is SQ Construction was abbreviation of Sean's Quality Construction LLC? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so he refused to pay the citation and decided he wanted to come argue before the board today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's all he's here for today. Is that right?
Correct.
No further questions.
Mr. Barron, do you have any questions for this witness?
No.
Okay. Any further witnesses?
Mr. Barron, I'll
Yes.
call Mr. Barron.
Okay.
Mr. Barron,
Yes.
do you understand that under the licensing laws of this state, that when you enter into an agreement that you have to, you have to enter into that agreement under the name that you are licensed?
Yes.
Okay. And you realize that the reason that you're here today is because you issued invoices as SQ Construction as opposed to Sean's Quality Construction.
I gave multiple ones with both names written on them. He just gave you the ones with SQ. He did not give you anything with my name fully written out.
Okay. But you do have those with SQ Construction, correct?
They were receipts, just abbreviation. That's all it was. Just so I don't have to write the long name out. It's just inadvertent. It wasn't. If I knew I had to spell that whole name out correctly to avoid coming down here, I would have typed the whole name out. That's all it was, to save time and space. It's nothing else.
And do you realize that Miss Morgan was having a conversation with you, simply explaining that to you and trying to work out a citation so that you wouldn't have had to come out down here?
Oh, I had a great conversation with her. She was excellent. No issue whatsoever. She was awesome. Talked to her for an hour. No problem whatsoever. I just said I wanted to come down here and explain it and see what was going on, because I did not have any ill intent.
Okay.
If you knew the whole situation for this thing, you couldn't believe it. This guy had no money. Doesn't know how to get money.
Mr. Barron, you'll have your opportunity to testify.
So I have no further questions. If Mr. Barron wants to explain to the board, he can.
So, Mr. Barron,
Yes, sir.
I understand your frustration, but at the same time, under a technicality, the letter of the law is the letter of the law. And
I understand that.
And so I do understand your frustration, but you pled not guilty, in which you are guilty under that technicality. All right. Now, like counsel stated earlier, you're not here about the quality of your work. We're not talking about that.
I passed all inspections. That's a joke. Go look at his house. I know. I'm just saying.
We're
I'm doing this 37 years.
I got you. We understand that, but and from my understanding, there was a call made or somebody reached out to you to try to resolve this without you having to come out here anyway.
No, I did have no objection to it. I just wanted to come talk because I wasn't objecting to paying a fine. I wanted to come try to clear my name. It wasn't, like I said, I had a great conversation with her.
Great. So I think the board understands where we are, what's going on, and I think we'll be able to make a ruling.
I just want you to know, definitely was inadvertent. I mean, why would I want to come down here just for the spelling of a name? It's silly.
Right. Let's back up for a second, okay? We're going to real chill, calm.
Yeah, no,
okay, just relax. We don't want you to have to come back for the same issue. It's not an intent.
No, I know.
It's just you have to contract in the name, in the legal name of the business.
I'm about to quit this business.
Don't do that.
Years. No, I'm gonna tell you why though.
Hold on.
Because I'm so sick and tired of going up against insurance companies, beating them for the customer, and I no longer can do assignment of benefits, and I keep getting beaten out of money by customers left, right, and center because they see big checks, and there's nothing I can do about it. That's why I was about to pack this in.
Mr. Barron, the board will make a decision
I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm frustrated with the whole
Mr. Barron, Mr. Barron, order, Mr. Barron, order, Mr. Barron, order.
Sir, so maybe you need to listen for a little while instead of trying to overtalk everybody.
I'm not trying to.
The board will make a decision as to your guilt, and then we'll move on to the penalty phase.
All right. What are the wishes of the board?
Well, obviously, the letter of the law was broken, so I move to find you guilty by a fine of $2,500, $1,000 hearing costs. I mean, look, you're wrong, okay? Just admit to it. I mean, when you make a mistake, you make a mistake. Don't beat up everybody around you because you did it. We're here to try to help you, but we can't help you if you're just going to overtalk.
Well, I apologize if you take it as me trying to beat anybody up or overtalk anybody. I wasn't. I was trying to explain that I handed in paperwork with both names. It was inadvertent. That's all it was. That's all I was trying to come down here and let everybody know. This was definitely not intentional.
Thank you. All right. We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Is that two separate motions or one motion?
That's all one. It was the
finding of guilt
and the penalty.
Okay.
And I think we're going back to water and wind, I believe. So I'll walk back in.
Mr. Barron, you're done.
Pardon me?
We're complete with your matter.
All right.
Thank you.
Water, Wind, and Fire Restoration LLC. Item D7, are any representatives present?
Can you state your name and your affiliation again?
Joseph Lay,
And what's your affiliation with the company?
owner.
Okay, Mr. Lay has previously been sworn, and a no plea, no contest plea, I believe.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I think we accepted.
We accepted the plea.
And so what we have before you right now, Tanika, I think is whether he's going to allow the exhibits to go into the record.
Okay. Mr. Lay, have you had an opportunity to review those documents?
Yeah, I looked it over.
Do you have any objection to those documents being entered into the record?
I can enter 'em.
I'm sorry.
I don't have an objection.
Okay, no objection. The exhibits are admitted.
Mr. Eatman, in front of you are exhibits that indicate that Water, Wind, and Fire Restoration LLC was involved in a project in the amount of $250,000 as indicated by the Exhibit 2A in the permit. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And can you explain how water, wind, and fire restoration was involved in that project?
A permit was obtained, and construction started on the new home build with the authority or the homeowner, and they started work on the project.
Did water, wind, and fire restoration essentially act like a manager of the project?
Yes, sir, they did.
So were they essentially managing this project on behalf of the homeowner?
Yes, sir, they were.
And the homeowner would then pay, and it looks like the checks were actually made out to Mr. Joseph Lee. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And did Mr. Joseph Lee then turn around and pay subcontractors related to that work?
Yes, sir.
And again, the total value we've taken from the permit is $250,000. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And if you look at exhibits, what it appears to be exhibits 2G, or the indication of the payments made to Mr. Joseph, and I think he's pronounced it Lay, I'm sorry, Mr. Joseph Lay. Is
Yes,
that
sir.
right?
That's correct.
Okay. And the Watley, Cheryl Watley, Ronnie Watley were the owners of the project, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They were.
No further questions.
Mr. Lay, do you have any questions for this witness?
No,
No questions?
not that I can't think of it.
Okay.
Okay, can I say?
You'll be able to
I have no
you'll be
other-
able to give a
I
statement.
talk later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no other witnesses to present.
Okay. Mr. Lay, you can go ahead and give your statement, and if you have an offer to the board as to a fine, you can do that as well.
Okay, I'll just tell how it came about so you have it aware of it. This is my friend Ronnie and Cheryl Watley, and he got cancer, liver cancer, and he came to me and asked me, "Hey, can you help me? I'm dying and I want to build this house for my wife." And you know, it's not something I do. I'm a remodeler, but I have experience in this. So because in Washington State I held a contractor's license and built several houses there. And I built this house with my own hands 4 times, and this is the 5th time. Okay, and then so I told him I don't do this, but you know I can help you, you know, just because you want to do this. And he was worried about lasting through the whole project, and because he was on chemo, so he couldn't. That's why I took some of the money and paid people for him, because when he was on chemo, he was really down and couldn't get around. And only thing I did on this project is I painted for him, and I put the doorknobs on, and I cleaned up garbage, is what I personally did. And then she was the owner builder. She paid most of the people. I paid some, because when he was down from the chemo, I would help him with that, paying some other people. And so that's how it came about.
All right.
And it's not something I'm going to ever do again. I'm very sorry that it did happen this way. And it's not something I do usually. I'm just a remodel contractor.
Sorry to hear about your friend. You said you are a contractor in another state, you said?
Washington State. I did hold a
license,
a general contractor
but
license.
you're not looking
Not
to
now.
do any more
No.
construction or anything like that.
So, well, I'm not sure about that. So, are you still in the construction business? You say you're a remodeler.
I
right?
do little remodels right now, and I do like work on my own projects mainly. But I
You
do
realize
little.
little remodeling costs a lot of money these days, right?
Yeah.
So that means that you really have to be careful
Right.
where you're going with this, because obviously if you're capable, then it would behoove you to get a license that allows you over 50,000, not just up to 50,000, especially after looking at this.
Right.
You know, it doesn't take long to get up to that number, sir, even with a roof.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time that he did this, he had a home improvement registration. It just expired after, but he had it when he was doing the project. But he doesn't have it at this point. So if he wants to do it, he can. He'd have to go get a home improvement if he's going to do anything over 7,500. But he went over his limit at the time because it was a residential project, and it just appears that he was managing the project for them. most of the project appears that he was working essentially as a construction manager, which, as we know, requires a license.
Violation.
Yes.
You understand that, right? Supervision is.
I do now. I didn't understand it ahead of time, but I do now that I.
All right, so your desire is to maintain a home improvement license?
Yes, I would like to do my home improvement license.
Stay in that category, right?
Yes.
All right. All right, so. Yeah, I'm gonna fine you, the maximum fine of $25,000, $1,000 hearing cost to be reduced to $1,000 and $1,000 if you get your home improvement license within 180 days.
Is there any way I can request? I could never afford something like that. I only make $50,000 a year, so there's no way I could pay $25,000.
You can. Well, listen to what I said.
Okay, I didn't understand.
So I fined you the maximum.
Right.
But that will be reduced to $1,000 and $1,000 if you get your license, home improvement license, within 180 days.
Okay, I understand.
So you got plenty of leeway there.
Right.
Like $24,000 worth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
But you have to follow through, and you have to make sure that you get all your documentation in, and these people will work with you here to make sure that you get it through. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's all up. The onus is on you.
Yeah.
To make sure that you don't come back with $25,000 in whatever time. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You got a motion, any seconds?
Second.
Got a motion and a second, any further discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Thank you.
Collecting, sir.
Section E statutory citation. The citation has been paid.
Who handled that?
I think we got a rehearing.
Well, let me go ahead and put in the exhibit packet. We submit the exhibit packet, Great Day Improvements LLC, 2024-1474-01 into the record on the field citation.
Exhibits are admitted.
Global Industrial, is that rehearing that we need to?
Yes, sir. Rehearing with a settlement offer.
All right, you gotta get a motion to rehear?
So move.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, any objection? Motion carries.
Global Industrial Contractors LLC of Baton Rouge, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for entering into a contract with an unlicensed contractor, Handyworks Construction LLC at 1842 Highway 1, Grand Isle, Louisiana, in the amount of $47,552.83. They're offering no contest plea, $1,000 fine plus $1,000 costs.
Call Dylan Borg.
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Global Industrial Contractors LLC, and Mr. Borg has been sworn.
Mr. Borg, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the Licensing Board for Contractors for this matter?
Yes, they were.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Move to accept. Second.
Got a motion and a second, any objection? Motion carries. The motion to adjourn, I think.
Yeah.
So moved.
Got a motion and a second, any objection? I didn't think so. Motion carries.
Can't make me leave. I ain't going there. I'll see you tomorrow, sir.
Good job, guys.
Yes. That guy Sean got comments.
I'm excited there.
All this stuff.
Could you tell?
That's part of the festival. We go on to the back. Yeah, he said he saw us play free.